Hello, I'm Tiki King,
I'm Maggie.
and welcome to episode 11 of Stalking in Circles, where we once again circle around the drain of insanity.
"41-year-old Margaret Ray arrested 7 times for trespassing on David Letterman's property.
John Hinckley Jr., and he changed the course of U.S. history in 1981 when he shot and wounded the president and 3 other people outside a Washington, D.C. hotel.
So here we are once again, continuing on with our story of our strange stalker, Kris. This is a story of an extreme case of erotomania.
We're not attempting to diagnose anyone in this video. We're simply going to explore this specific case.
So we're basically going through all of the emails, all of the things that we've received, and laying it out for you. Our stalker glommed onto us in September of 2022 and has been going ever since.
At one of the concerts back in September of 2022, our stalker Kris decided that she was in love with one of the main members of the band. At another concert, a month later, our stalker Kris decided Aaron loved her. She sent some inappropriate emails, and I contacted her and said, hey, don't do this anymore. Stop contacting us. We're going to examine today are a couple of emails that she wrote specifically to Aaron and are very wrapped up in her delusion and what we believe to be erotomania.
So we're starting this episode off with an email that came to us on December 8th of 2022, and it's a doozy.
December 8th, 2022. I promise to work on myself. Aaron, please don't do this to me. I see the Rant CD is available on digital only. I am shaking right now. I don't want to lose you, please. My intention were not to scare you away. I do want to work things out. Please, you are such a wonderful man, and you do make me happy. Now I do need to make myself happy. I am sincerely sorry. I don't need to go see a doctor. I keep thinking I am going to see you soon, like now in a few weeks. I know that is weird, but it's true. I see you as a wolf in sheep's clothing, because what you are doing right now with you are not contacting me, and that make me think you want to mold and transform me into the woman I want to be and you want me to be. You make me really think about things, and that is good. I do know you love and care about me. I can feel it. I see you as a kind, wonderful human being, and I am so drawn to Aaron. I can't help it. It's like I like it. I love it. I want some more of it, meaning you. Wicked Tinker is by far the best band ever, thanks to you. I am so addicted to you. I can't get enough of you. I do miss you. Please think about this, and I do need work on me. I am stuck at home all day long, and my mind goes crazy. It is so easy to get stuck in my own head, and it escalates. Please put the Ramp CD back, temporarily sold out, back up on the website, and I will do whatever you ask of me. Please give me another chance, please. I will work on taking much better care of me, mentally, emotionally, and physically, and work on not thinking of you, because that makes me miss you more. Right now, I certainly need to think about my needs. Pleaser, I beg of you, I will get down on my knees and pray for you to give another chance, please. I will also work on getting things done. I need to get done here too. I do need to work on self-love, as that is very important, and I will work on my 30-day prescription for self-love book every day, starting today. I need to go with the flow. I have no choice but to do so. Please, can you please put the Rant CD as temporarily sold out back up on the website? They give me hope for the future for us. You just drive me crazy, that is all. I will work on balancing me and my life and get guidance from God and the universe too. I can't handle all these astrology, sixth sense, and have someone draw my soulmate. I see you as my soulmate and future partner. You worked your way into my heart the first time I saw you this year in Kelso. What a reunion. I do realize with doing all the above will make me a stronger woman for me and you. You are very important to me, Aaron. I am so attracted to you like a magnet, and you got me trapped. And I can't get away from you, and I like it that way. The changes coming my way are within me, and I certainly need you in my life. I'm scared of losing you, and I don't want that. I do promise I will work on my fluff and concentrate on Bala and sting my emotions and anxiety, and work towards making myself a better person, a better woman, and better for me and you. I know you're communicating with me in a discreet way, like always. I may as well enjoy the ride, because I have no choice since you are in control over it. I will also check the mailbox later to see if my house key in my mailbox. That is another sign. No more talking to someone entering my place. He doesn't believe me anyway. You are so good at what you are doing to me. No doubt about it. I never met a man like before. What an adjustment, and I can't fight it any longer, and I just need to go with the flow. I will. You are in charge, and I do respect that. Don't hate me, please. Please. I do want to work this out with me and you, okay? I will check back this evening the website and see if you're giving me another chance by you putting the rant CD is back on the website is temporarily sold out. Please think about it, and I will not say anything. I promise. This is between you and me. In the meantime, I am going to go pray for your forgiveness. Kris. P.S. I do need to stop watching you on YouTube as that increases my anxiety because I want to see you so badly. I want the rant CD so badly too. I would never purchase your CDs anywhere else. I do not want to piss you off. One more thing, do not give my dog another rabbit. I got your message. What will or could happen to me behind closed doors that haunts me more than CJ playing the didge?
I don't look at Kaya the same way.
She went after the rabbit as if she has not eaten in weeks. She was growling at me and my other dog when we got close to her. That scared me the crap out of me. She does look like a wolf. I can see that in you and CJ. Oh my God. I will pray you don't do that again. I don't know if I can handle you both. You are both wicked to the core. I need to stop thinking about that for now. Take care. I need to live one day at a time, and I do question if I am safe now.
Wow. It's always interesting. So there's a whole bunch of different things that stand out in that particular email. Probably the first thing to mention of the rant CD, that she sees that it's still listed as digital download only, which is somehow giving her a sign.
Please don't do this to me. I see the rant CD is available on digital only. I am shaking right now.
As everything seems to do.
It's a secret message from Aaron.
Yeah, and
that means the opposite of what she wants, or exactly what she wants.
Depending on where we are in the saga, I guess.
And her mood at the time.
Yep.
She also says in the first paragraph that Aaron is a wonderful man.
You are such a wonderful man.
And there's absolutely no way that she could know what type of a man Aaron is, because she's never really been around Aaron other than watching him play on stage and a possible one or two sentences during a festival where she came over and said some things. But there's really no interaction, and there's no possible way that Kris could know anything about Aaron's personal life at all. But yet she has this idea of what type of a person he is.
Right, and he is a wonderful man.
Yeah, well, but she can't possibly know that.
Yeah, because her story of him is completely in her head. She has no footing to decide what type of a person he is or what his personality is like at all. Another thing that stands out in that paragraph is that she says, I don't need to go see a doctor. And it's in parentheses and quotes, and it's not really connected to anything else that she says.
I don't need to go see a doctor.
So I'm left to wonder, did she mean that as in the thing she said before about how much she loves Aaron? She's saying, but I'm not crazy or anything, I don't need to go see a doctor. Or is that some sort of a reply to maybe input she's been being given elsewhere? It comes across as a sort of aside of, but I'm not crazy, So in this next paragraph, she opens with saying that she feels like she's going to be seeing him now or soon.
I am going to see you soon, like now in a...
It's interesting because there is absolutely no reason that she would be seeing him. We didn't have any gigs. That's our off season. So she wasn't going to be seeing us playing anywhere. We certainly weren't going to be going up there. We don't live anywhere near where she is at. So this idea that she was somehow going to see him any moment now is interesting.
She says, I know that's weird, but it's true.
Weeks I know that is weird, but it's true.
And I think there's a little bit of reality when she says, I know it's weird, because she knows it's weird right then, but it's true. So she knows there's something wrong. I feel like in the beginning, in these parts of, during this period of time, she kind of had a little glimpse that something was wrong with her about this, but she can't she can't stay within that reality. She keeps going back to, it's true, it's going to happen. It's just a little weird.
This is weird, makes a statement, like you said, that makes it seem like for a second there she's understanding that this is not right.
Yeah, I know this is weird.
Yeah.
But I still have all this delusion.
So another thing in this paragraph that stands out is the mention of that he is a wolf in sheep's clothing. The reason that's interesting is because the imagery of the wolf comes up quite a bit.
I see you as a wolf in sheep's clothing.
She uses the term wolf in many different ways. It's a whole big thing. It is, the wolf is yet another character in this saga.
Yeah, so the wolf in sheep's clothing then is going to somehow transform her into the woman that Aaron wants her to be. Aaron is the wolf in sheep's clothing, and Aaron is going to mold her into the woman that he wants her to be.
You want to mold and transform me into the woman I want to be, and you want me to be.
Without ever having contacted her, without talking to her at all, she has this idea that Aaron, by not contacting her, and by the secret messages that he sent to her, which are not real,
Which don't exist,
somehow he's transforming her into the woman that he wants her to be.
And it's interesting that this is all voluntary. It's on her part. She is doing these things, yet attributing them to the wolf, to this character that she's sort of created. But at the
As in the first paragraph, she states again what a wonderful person Aaron is. She also says how much she can feel his love for her.
Good, I do know you love and care about me. I can feel it. I see you as a kind, wonderful human being.
Clearly, that is not happening. But for some reason, her delusion causes her to believe that she feels love from someone that she has had zero contact with.
And so she says she sees him as this kind, loving, wonderful human being. Once again, this is based on things she's observed, YouTube videos, etc. And sure, he is, but she's taking it to mean for her. And probably one of the more telling things is that she says she loves it, she wants it, she needs it, she likes it. It's like she's addicted. And that's absolutely true. That's what erotomania sort of is being addicted to the idea of another person.
So at the beginning of paragraph 3, she says that she stays home all the time and it's easy for her to get stuck in her own head.
I am stuck at home all day long and my mind goes crazy. It is so easy to get stuck in my own head and it escalates.
And then she says it escalates. So this is very true. She's home alone. She's married, but it doesn't appear that she has the type of relationship that she wants to have. Many times people with erotomania feel lonely or rejected, or they have some other thing going on, emotional thing in their life. She possibly has secondary erotomania, which is a comorbid thing where she has another condition, which she has mentioned several conditions to us, but it doesn't matter. Both of them have the same symptoms. They present the same way. So the longer she sits at home by herself with nothing to do, the more time she has to think about all of this stuff and create all of these stories in her mind. And we have no way of knowing if she's doing this constantly or if it just happens every once in a while. every few days she thinks about it for a couple hours, or if it's an ongoing thing every minute of the day. We just don't know. We can only speculate that there are times when she sits at home and goes over this stuff in her head constantly, because of the way that she writes these emails to us, they're so repetitive that it seems to me like she's just repeating the same thing in her head over and over again and then writing it down.
Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things. There's actually studies that show that if you listen to something enough times, it will stop sounding crazy, no matter how crazy it is, because you may not believe it, but it may not have the same impact it did when you first heard it. And I think that could be that she is telling herself these stories over and over until it goes even beyond that, where she's no longer saying, oh boy, what if this happened, to this is going to happen, to this is definitely going to happen, this is reality. So she's basically conditioning herself through her own repetitive thought pattern to believe what she is saying. So paragraph 3, I will do whatever you want if you would put the rant CD back up, temporarily sold out.
Please put the rant CD back, temporarily sold out, back up on the website, and I will do whatever you ask of me. Please give me another chance, please.
So there, she's done negative things, saying I'm going to harm myself if you don't do what I ask. So now she's saying, making a promise. Oh well, if you would just do, I'll do anything. I'll do anything. Sort of this, dangling. Now she's dangling the carrot, as it were.
And after that, she says she'll get down on her knees and do anything. She begs him, please do this.
Please, sir, I beg of you. I will get down on my knees and pray for you to give another chance, please.
Because if you put the rant CD as temporarily sold out, that will be a sign to me. She's not begging him to do anything personal for her. It's just some weird thing on the website that she wants him to change. And if he does that, she'll know that he still cares about her. So in paragraph 4, she continues on saying, if you put the rant CD as temporarily sold out on the website, that means I can see a future for us.
Please, can you please put the rant CD as temporarily sold out back up on the website? They give me hope for the future for us.
And that's a pretty extreme thing that she's thinking is going to happen if something on the website changes.
It's odd that she's glommed onto that thing. Not, if you would just send me an email, if you would just put a picture of you blowing a kiss, like some sort of actual tangible sign, some sort of actual message, if you would put Kris with a heart on the website. But no, it's something that's that she has become so attached to the rant CD, whether it says sold out or temporarily sold out, means something to her, even though it has absolutely nothing to do with her or anything related to her.
Yeah. So at the beginning, the reason that the rant CD is so important here is when she first started communicating, she wanted a copy of the rant CD because hers was missing or broken. Well, she couldn't find it at the time. And so she has this idea that if Aaron wants to sell her the CD, that means one thing. And if he doesn't want to sell her the CD, that means something different. If it says sold out completely, that means he doesn't want to give her the CD. But if it says temporarily sold out, that means there's a possibility.
Right, there's some hope that she might get the CD, which means that he loves her.
Yeah. And she, because that was one of the mechanisms of their first interaction in her mind, she thinks that Aaron gave her his address to contact him about the rant CD. No, what happened was, likely he said from the stage, I'm from Los Angeles. Then she probably either looked on the website, got his address, because in one of her emails she knows that his address was on the website.
Mm-hmm.
She's printed out all of the pages of the website for who knows how long. So she already had his address. That's why she thinks this is important, is because she sees that as being one of the first communicating things that happened between them.
I can't handle all these astrology, sixth sense, and have someone draw my soulmate. I see you as my soulmate and future partner.
So there she's talking about the universe, making it, basically giving signs, having someone draw her soulmate. We were trying to figure that one out. We thought maybe it was one of those, you get an email that's for $39.95. I will reveal your soulmate in a drawing, and she probably was like, oh, "It's Aaron." And then she says that she sees him as her soulmate and her life partner.
So I see you as my soulmate and future partner is really far. It's a really far step to go. All you have done is seen some concerts and had your picture taken with the band. That does not mean that you are somebody's soulmate and future partner.
There in that 5th paragraph, she talks about being attracted to him like a magnet and that he has her trapped. And she likes it that way, which is a very telling thing in that sometimes she talks about how he did this to her and she can't escape and what is she supposed to do, and she's scared, and et cetera, et cetera. But there she's admitting that this is what she wants to be happening.
I am so attracted to you like a magnet, and you got me trapped. And I can't get away from you, and I like it that way.
He has her trapped and she likes it that way. So it's funny, both trapped, which usually would have a negative connotation, meaning that you want to get away and can't. But that at the same time, she's happy about it.
In other emails, she says things like, "You baited me. CJ and Aaron baited me into being in love." Like, I don't know how you can bait someone into being in love with you from a distance. I don't think it's possible. But she says that, and that you trapped me, you baited me, and then ensnared me so I could not get away. And she's saying that again. So this is something that she tells herself in her delusion over and over again.
I'm scared of losing you. I don't want that.
This is another theme that she'll often talk about, her fear of losing him. Well, she never had him. She still doesn't have him. There was never any having to lose. And she's now afraid that there is something to lose when there was never anything to have in the beginning.
In the 7th paragraph, she talks about bettering herself, making herself a better person. She mentions it earlier also in this same email.
I do promise I will work on my fluff and concentrate on Bala and spoon my emotions and anxiety and work towards making myself a better person, a better woman, and better for me and you.
I think that she thinks by telling Aaron that she's going to make herself a better person. In fact, I think this email is called "Working on Myself" or something along those lines.
Right. So it's right there in the title.
Yeah. So that's what this whole thing is about. I will work on myself. I'll make myself a better person so that you will love me better and be with me as my life partner. It's sort of the bottom line of the whole thing here.
And something there is her talking about bettering herself so that she'll be more of the person that he wants. It tells me that she thinks that he is doing the same thing, that he's at home pining away for her, and that he's just holding himself back from communicating with her because he's waiting until she's just right for him.
In paragraph 8, she starts talking about the discrete ways that Aaron communicates with her.
I know you're communicating with me in a discreet way, like always.
The rant CD in this email is a good example of this happening. We've already talked about that a little bit. But she sees signs and everything. And we keep saying that, but everything is a discrete message. She's not just seeing a sign like she thinks it's a sign. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna have luck today because I found a penny. and it was heads up or something. It's not like those types of signs. These are discrete messages specifically sent from Aaron to her. It's a discrete message that the website says sold out, even though it says sold out because it actually is sold out. But she sees that as a discrete message from Aaron, and many other things are discrete messages from Aaron. And in this paragraph, she talks about another one, which is the mailbox.
I will also check the mailbox later to see if my house key is in my mailbox. That is another sign.
So in that, she says that she's going to go check the mailbox, and if the house key is there, she'll know that he has no interest in coming in. Which it's a little perplexing. We're trying to figure out, did she leave her house key down there in her mailbox, thinking that he was going to come by and get it so that he could then later come into the house? We're not really sure, but it definitely, she set herself up for a sign. She thought, okay, I'm going to leave this thing here, and if something changes, then that's a sign. The sad thing is, I thought someone could come by and take it. So, I mean, her husband could go get the mail and say, what? The house key is in here. And then suddenly she's going, the key was gone, But it's interesting, just signs everywhere.
Another thing here, she says, no more talking to her husband about people coming into her house because he doesn't believe her anyway.
No more talk about someone entering my place. He doesn't believe me anyway. You are so good at what you are doing to me.
And we don't know if that means that she's telling him that somebody is coming into her house, but her husband doesn't believe her. And I would hope that he doesn't believe her, because he was at both of those concerts and he should know how much interaction they actually had. But we don't know what she's telling him as far as email communications and other things, phone calls. We don't know if she's trying to convince him of something. And we also don't know how gullible he is. We have no idea what their situation is. So it's hard to know what's actually going on, but her husband doesn't believe her at this point. He doesn't believe that people are coming into their house. So she also says here that Aaron is so good at doing what he's doing to her, meaning the manipulation of these discrete ways that she thinks is happening. But none of these things are real, and Aaron has nothing to do with any of these discrete ways. So when she says, I've never met a man like this before, that's the thing she says next. I've never met a man like this before who is capable of sending discrete messages and these types of things.
And it actually becomes even more apparent down the road when she says that she finally understands why we are all completely ignoring her. And it's because, and she lays out this scenario as to what, and it's fairly complicated as to what it means by us ignoring her. So she, again, it's no matter what it is, she has an answer and why it's a sign that these things are happening.
So she says she wants to work things out with Aaron. And we can assume from that she thinks there's some kind of a problem between her and Aaron.
Do you want to work this out with me and you, okay?
That's the reason that Aaron isn't contacting her personally or going to her house and picking her up and flying her to different shows that she thinks he should take her to, because he's angry at her for some reason. Or some of the time it's because I am keeping her away from him, depending on her mood at the time and depending on if she's talking to Aaron or me. But I think it's kind of interesting how she thinks that they need to work something out between them. It's more than simply receiving hidden messages and discrete signs and that sort of thing. It's gone far beyond that already, and this is only let's see, it's December 8th. So it started, if we want to say it started in Kelso.
September, yeah.
It's 4 months since that concert.
I will check back this evening the website and see if you're giving me another chance by you putting the rant CD is back on the website is temporarily sold out. Please think about it, and I will not say anything. I promise.
And next she talks about, again, the rant CD and how if you just please put that back on the website to give her a sign.
Tonight,
that's right. She's going to check
it's
back.
very specific.
That's something else that I found fascinating was sends an email and it's as if she feels like she just spoke, that they just talked. There have been times when it was minutes, emails apart saying, when is this going to happen?
In the meantime, she's going to pray for his forgiveness, which I think is interesting just because, again, there's nothing.
Yes, I do need to stop watching you on YouTube as that increases my anxiety because I want to see you so badly. I want the rant CD so badly too. I would never purchase your CDs anywhere else. I do not want to piss you off.
And there in the PS, she talks about watching him too much on YouTube, which I'm sure is something that actually happens. And the other thing is not wanting to piss him off by buying the CD somewhere else. And we don't care. I mean, yeah, we make a little bit more money if you buy directly from us. But if a CD is not available through us, it's not going to upset us in any way if someone buys it somewhere else. So then we get into the real meat of the postscript, as it were. Talking about her dog going after the rabbit. Now,
One more thing, do not give my dog another rabbit. I got your message. What will or could happen to me behind closed doors that haunts me more than CJ playing the didge?
I don't look at Kaya the same way.
She went after the rabbit as if she has not eaten in weeks. She was growling at me and my other dog when we got close to her. That scared me the crap out of me. She does look like a wolf. I can see that in you and CJ. Oh my God. I will pray you don't do that again. I don't know if I can handle you both. You are both wicked to the core. I need to stop thinking about that for now. Take care. I need to live one day at a time, and I do question if I am safe now.
We thought that was a metaphor that she expounded on, saying that you're dangling the carrot over the rabbit, and then my dog goes after the rabbit and, acts like a wolf, and you're the wolf. And we thought it was all this sort of strange metaphorical tale. Then she talked about when her dog goes after the rabbit. We thought, okay, well, did her dog actually go after a rabbit? And she wove that into this metaphor. And then here she talks about how Erin gave her dog the rabbit and how frightened she was because of how the dog reacted and how the dog acted like, guess what? A wolf. So there Erin is not only providing the problem, being giving the rabbit to the dog, but is also the dog at the same time because he is the wolf. It's maybe I'm reading too much into this. I don't know, but it's all very strange.
Well, the interesting thing of it to me is then she says she knows what could happen to her behind closed doors. I got your message, and I know what could happen to me behind closed doors. Sometimes she wants what's going to happen behind closed doors, and sometimes she doesn't. And it's not a good thing. It's not a positive thing, but it's just interesting that she has that in her head.
Yeah, she's often, I can't believe you're going to do this. Please, please, I beg of you, don't do this. You are going to do this, aren't you? It's all very convoluted.
She also every once in a while throws CJ in here. She can see the wolf in Erin and CJ. We don't know why CJ is thrown in here every once in a while. She has an idea that both CJ and Erin are in on this somehow together.
Right.
But yet Erin is the one specific person that loves her. We don't know if she thinks CJ loves her too. Hopefully not. We haven't heard anything about that.
No.
She says, I don't know if I can handle both of you. And then she says, you're both wicked to the core, like as if she's clever by using that word.
So it ends with her saying that she needs to stop thinking about it and that she questions if she's safe. She does this in other emails too, where she's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm so scared. But that seems to mean actually, like I said, more of a thinking that it's playful or flirtatious. Of, oh, I'm frightened of you. You know, you're such a big, strong man. That sort of, you know.
So that was one of the emails from December 8th, 2022. That's the only email that we're going to do today. We're not going to go over anything more because that's a pretty long one. But we do want to talk a little bit about our court hearing we had last Friday.
It was interesting. We went into it thinking probably that our stalker was not going to show up because she's been a no-show the past 2 court cases. But to our surprise, there she was.
We were on a Zoom,
right.
And she was physically in the courtroom because this is actually in the place where she lives.
Right. So to sort of open things up, there were a few other court cases ahead of us, so we had to wait while those were happening. And during one of those, the judge actually had to have her leave the courtroom because she was sobbing so loudly it was interrupting the other cases.
Yeah, so she left with her husband. Her husband was there with her.
Well, we're assuming it was her husband.
She said it was her husband.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And when she introduced herself, when she stood up at the microphone, introduced herself and her husband.
Oh, right. Which unfortunately I was not allowed to say anything. It was the court case is listed as between her and the stalker. So.
And we didn't have any witnesses or anything like that this time. It was just simply.
I think this was just to hear if there was validity to.
It was the case to see whether or not she needed more time to gather her evidence against me, or her evidence to prove that what I am saying is incorrect, is what it really is.
Yep. Which
there is no evidence of that nature. So I'm not sure what she thinks she needs to provide, but she seemed to think she had some stuff.
Yeah.
So she basically what happened was she came up when they called our names after she was asked to leave the courtroom, and then she came back into the courtroom and sat there. She seemed like she wasn't crying anymore. I could tell that when she came in, she was upset and crying because she was, like wiping her face and everything. And her husband was very, like, it's gonna be okay, honey. And like, we couldn't hear what they were saying, but that's the gestures that he was using toward her. So when they called our names, she walked up to the microphone with him, and she had a huge stack of a big file, more than one actually.
Yeah.
There's a couple of files stacked together with a lot of papers in it, which is probably just printed out every email that she has sent us, and the tiny little one of the ones that we sent her, the ones that I sent to her, and then 200 cease and desist letters that we sent her, I don't really know what was in those files, but I'm interested to find out.
Well, she said that she actually, I think she, if I remember correctly, she tapped and said right off the bat, she said, I have proof in here that she is stalking me. And the judge said, that's not what we're here to do today. And she said, has this all been submitted to the court? And she said, I have it right here with me. And she said, okay, but you need to submit your evidence beforehand so that.
Yeah, Kris wanted to present it right at that moment. And basically what happened was the judge first said that she had been served just a few days before that. And so was it okay with me if we gave her time to create a response to what I wrote?
Right.
And I said that would be fine. And she does this like it's the worst thing she's ever heard, and like exasperated sigh sort of a thing. And then she kept trying to interrupt the judge. It was very brief, but she did get in there.
Well,
The Wicked Tinkers are the best band ever.
yeah. So. But yeah, she kept saying, if I could just show you. And she was saying, no, we're not. That isn't how this works. You have to present your evidence first so that both parties can look it over. She said, she's already sent in her evidence. It was what you were served with. You were supposed to file a response. And she had a lot of different excuses as to why she couldn't get these things done. And the judge actually arranged some special accommodations for her to help her out in getting her evidence filed.
Interestingly, one of those things involved that she was unable to type, and we happen to know that she can.
Yeah.
Because we get the only way that she could send these emails is by typing them. There's no way that in the format that they come in, there's no way that this could be some sort of voice.
I don't think so, because there's changes in font color, changes in font size, changes
the punctuation,
bold,
the spelling, especially the spelling. Because if you say things into one of those, the spelling isn't going to be wrong. And she has all this. Half of the words aren't spelled right. I mean, that's exaggerating, but no. Many words are not spelled right.
Right.
It's possible that she has some sort of problem that makes it hard for her to type, but she certainly does it when she's typing a letter to Aaron, when she's typing an email to Aaron, or typing an actual physical letter to Aaron, which recently he received several.
Right. And so the judge basically kept telling her that that's not how it works, and that she would have her chance to present her evidence. At one point, she walked away and sort of walked around the room kind of sobbing. It ended with her going on a sort of a tirade about how unfair she's been treated by the court system in the past.
It was actually her sister-in-law that was treated unfairly by the court system in the past that she's mentions at the end. But she does definitely said to the judge that I was stalking her and that she has proof of it. And she also said, I love the Wicked Tinkers. She said, I've been treating her so unfairly. That was one of her things. Your Honor, I've been treated so unfairly. She's treated me so unfairly. I have not had any contact with her since the end of 2023. It was actually mid-2023. And I didn't send her anything since then. So I don't know how I am treating her unfairly, because I don't do anything. So now she has 2 weeks to gather her evidence and send it to the court. And then the court will send it to me. And then I will get to rebut some of that evidence. And I'm sure I will. I have no idea what she's going to say or what she's going to submit. And I'm very interested to see it. But I was surprised that she showed up.
And she has often talked about how she can prove several things. She can prove beyond a shadow of doubt Aaron is not married. She can prove that we're stalking her. She can prove all of these things. And so now she has her chance. So we're going to see.
She can prove that I've bugged her house and that I have access to her computers.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing. Yeah, she has proof. I think she said, I have proof, but I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. That we have her computer, that Maggie is monitoring her home computer. So I want to see what that. We're actually fairly excited to see what the evidence is.
Yeah, I just want to see what it is, what she thinks is happening from her side, because she's never really explained any of this to us. I have a hunch that it's going to be just the same things that we've heard over and over again that don't mean anything. Yeah, so in 2 weeks, we'll have another hearing with that judge, and we're working on getting a better remedy than the one we have in place currently. One that will prevent her from thinking it's okay to send emails or physical mail to Aaron.
Thanks for watching.